Everyone wants to be close to the gods, or God. We want to be close to the source, that which has created the conditions of our life. But trust me when I say that being close to the gods or God is not quite as satisfying as you may think. Being close to that which writes our code can feel like we're seeing literally the matrix code of existence. Um, of course, I'm alluding to the Matrix trilogy. But seeing the source code for all that is seeing how little one is an individual, how little we have an impact on our own lives. The illusion of choice is laid plain. And when that illusion is laid plain, we start to wonder, what is the point of existence at all? Now, when you see yourself as you truly are, behind all of the filters that we learn to look at ourselves through, um, past all the misunderstandings that we accept from other people, we start to see that we are just as much a part of the fabric of reality as anything else. If the runes are the gods of the gods, and the gods are our gods, then what are we gods of? We like to think that we are part of our own decisions. We like to think that we are the gods of our choices. But are we? And if we are the gods of our choices, what is below us? We start to see that even us as individual bodies is made up of a number of entities. The gods need us because we are the cells of their bodies. And the individual entities, spiritual and biological, that make up our own bodies are confederations which build a complete life. But this is true for all life forms. So, to start to realize that which is above is the same as that which is below is a scary prospect, because the outline of our very existence, me as a human being, me, Hunter Salazar, as an individual, becomes far more blurred, far more less differentiated from everything around me. And when that starts to blur, we start to wonder, what is the point of living an individual existence? Are we destined to be part of a society and never be able to live on our own? Can we choose to be an individual separate from the ideas that make up our false persona that we tell ourselves exists? So, brothers and sisters, we may ask ourselves, where is choice? Where is individuality in its extreme? To where we can experience and live life as an individual while experiencing our connection to the gods and God. God being the united whole of everything that is. Well, to put it plainly, it is experience. It is trying to reach a level of awareness to where we experience the grander whole and understand that though we are forcibly a part of everything that is, we don't have to live in disillusionment. We don't have to live in a resignation to a lack of choice. We don't have to live in a way that makes us feel that nothing that we do matters. Instead, what we can do is try to experience the grander whole to greater and greater degrees. When we do this, we find that this is the point of life. Experience. We can choose to isolate ourselves, to embrace the ego, to choose that which isolates us and expects power, glorifies power. But this extreme of the left-hand path will only lead us to a greater reliance on time and space and an individual concept that does not exist. If we become reliant on the idea that we're an individual that should have power, that can get power for him or herself, then we confine ourselves to a limited existence. Because the ultimate, the higher levels of awareness are always the unified levels of awareness, the unified realization that everything is a part of the source, and time and space are only illusions for the grander experience of every soul working its way back to the source. Does this mean that we as human beings are just cells of the gods, which are cells of God, the one supreme Godhead. You can think of it that way, and I often do. But we shouldn't toss away our desires completely. We should allow ourselves to experience what it is to live, to be the illusion of an individual while we're here, and slowly learn our way to this realization. Now, it's very hard to see the peak, see the goal, see that golden tip of the highest mountain, and still focus on what is before us in this valley. But that is what we must do to become ourselves. And ourselves are one. So we must work out our desires here. We must try to relinquish our fears one step at a time. And understand that just because we understand what the ultimate is, that doesn't mean we don't have things to work out right now as an individual. Live your life as a human being. Become one with your true desires, your truest desires, which we don't know off the bat. It's not a part of our consciousness. It's a part of the subconscious. Figure out what you truly want. Work towards that. Then that will lead to a deeper want and a deeper want until fear and desire itself become compartmentalized into something that you are relinquishing. So as you get closer to the gods and God, as you commune with the spirits, and you start to realize how much of yourself was pre-written. You can call it by karma and dharma, dharma being the fabric of reality, the moral code, and karma being the initiator of that code, the giver of rewards and punishments. That is definitely an element, and that is what teaches us. But regardless, you have to hone in on who you are as an individual soul and what you have learned based on the experiences that you are having now, what the universe is trying to tell you. And once you start to understand that this is a continuous process of learning, then that's when you can experience what it is to be a human being while moving forward to the source. So, brothers and sisters, do not lose heart. Become one with your true self, which is the self in us all. And do not feel bad for drinking too much or smoking or not always being the best person that you can be. But just try to make a step-by-step progress to becoming one with everyone else. To becoming one with the compassion that is inherent within you. And don't degrade yourself because you committed this or that sin. Instead, slowly work away from the possibility of you committing it in the future. That is the way to progress. Not by defeating yourself, but by encouraging yourself, little bit by little bit. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.